Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
Embrace the new era of learning FEFDY.
Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Ahmed's Iraivan. The film stars Jayam Ravi and Nayanthara, and it is a super generic and underwhelming serial killer thriller. Man is the most dangerous animal of all. These are not my words, these are the words that open this thriller, which features, as I said, Jayam Ravi and Nayanthara as Arjun and Priya. He is a cop. She is the cop's sister. Naren plays her brother, Andrew. Arjun is impatient and he believes in encounter killings, saying that he cannot wait for God to deliver justice. Priya is waiting for him to realize that despite these rules he lives his life by, he can still get married. I liked one line that Andrew says to Arjun, that death never comes to those who say that they are not afraid to die. It comes instead to people around them. Otherwise, this is not a film where the actors are required to give much of a performance. The direction is loud and simplistic. The events are random. If Arjun is going to continue with the investigation, then why have him resign and turn in his gun? Nothing makes sense. If Arjun is stepping away to open a coffee shop, then it would be nice to show him getting pulled back in, but that I guess would require too much thinking and too much writing. And into these lives, a serial killer arrives. He calls himself Brahma after the creator in Hindu mythology. I wondered why he did not call himself Shiva. He is, after all, the destroyer. This guy targets very young females, and this gives the director the opportunity to stage a series of very sensationalistic frames of nude and brutalized women. How many scenes do we need of the victims spread out in various poses? How many scenes do we need of parents weeping over videos of their dying daughters? What are the voices the killer says he keeps hearing? Why keep introducing young women so obviously so the audience is already prepared that they are going to get abducted? And why on earth does Arjun keep screaming the name of the girl as he runs around trying to save her? Does he not know that the killer could be around and realize that Arjun is approaching? Questions are all we are left with. The one thing that works is the Jayam Ravi and Nayanthara characters do not have a love angle. She wants to be there for him, but he is afraid that his job and his enemies will make her life dangerous. So there's an off-on quality to their relationship, and I like that. But like everything else in the film, this is sketchy, but at least we are spared random love moments in the midst of a gruesome thriller. But everything else is super generic. It's as though they thought we have seen these scenarios anyway, so why bother to flesh these people out? But fleshing out is what will make this serial killer thriller different from a Rachasan or a Porthuril. The overall arc may be the same, but it's the specifics that make the movie. Iraivan is all one line and no follow through. This is the end of the relatively spoiler-free review. Here on you're going to find some spoilers, so do watch with caution. Rahul Bose plays the villain, and his role is underwritten to the point of being comical. Like the serial killer in Michael Mann's Manhunter, our man gouges out the eyes of his victims, but there has to be a twisted reason for this MO, something that explains the reason for this particular method of killing, and that's missing. Again, chalk it up to the lack of writing. Another point that feels really odd is when one victim is described as a nymphomaniac. She may well be one, but what has that got to do with the story? Does her nature change the killer, or is this just some male fantasy being played out? Even when Arjun says there is a second killer, you wonder how he knows. Again, these contrivances are not fleshed out, and things just seem to be happening because the writer-director wants them to happen and not because the character instigates these thoughts or actions. And then we get this copycat killer, the second killer, whose motivations seem even worse. When he says he wants to embrace Arjun, you not only know what he's going to say, you can also guess the camera angles, the staging. Iraivan keeps throwing new things like a soft-porn theater, and it keeps throwing new people into the mix. I guess the idea is that we will remain unsettled, that we will stay pleasantly confused about who and the why. But this is the case where we are clear and it's the writing that's confused. A plot point about a mosquito bat wants to sound philosophical, but it sounds painfully half-baked. The director wants every point to have dramatic punch, but there is no build-up to the scene where, say, Andrew dies. He's the hero's best friend. He's the heroine's brother. We need this moment to explode, but though we see the drama on screen, we don't feel it, and that can be said about most of Iraivan. That's it about Iraivan. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galata Plus and see you soon at the movies.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
New way learning through FEFDY.